All right, ladies and gentlemen, just so that you know, we have about 30 seconds before we start. So for those of you that's getting ready at home, buckle up and get ready as we have a very fruitful day that's happening. So another 21 seconds. Everyone in the studio is actually very excited. Can I actually hear some excitement from everyone? All right. See, this is pretty good. So I know everyone at home can't see us now, but everyone is just as pumped here in the office. So let's do a countdown. Let's do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Start Me Up HK Festival 2020 Lifestyle Tech Conference that's hosted by Jumpstart. And just as a little introduction, my name is MC Melody, and I'm very honored to be the MC for this innovative as well as a very meaningful virtual event. And of course, to meet all of you that is here online today. And just a little bit about the background, this is actually the 5th year of the Start Me Up Hong Kong Festival. However, it is the first time that the festival is going virtual. First time for everything, right? Launched in 2013 is an initiative that is by Invest Hong Kong. Start Me Up Hong Kong actually seeks to promote Hong Kong as a startup destination to connect our entrepreneurs and to create a very vibrant ecosystem that is to draw our innovation as well as to have high impact ventures from around the world to our city that is here in Hong Kong. And over the last 5 years, the festival has actually gotten bigger. It's gotten better each year. And Jumpstart is very proud to be one of the vertical champions this year. And Jumpstart has partnered with over 125 innovation shows globally, and they traditionally conduct physical events. But this year, they are embracing the new normal by providing our community with a very meaningful online show. And with virtual events being the new trend right now, Jumpstart strives to bring you the best speakers as well as the best experiences by using its wide startup, investor, and media network. So everyone, we hope you enjoy it. I would like to express our deep gratitude to our community as well as our audience, especially considering the way in which that COVID-19 has affected our physical events, as we are honored to have all of you to join us virtually. But I'm sure that energy still remains and that enthusiasm is exactly the same. So thank you very much, everyone. And we are also showcasing a number of interesting startups with virtual booths. So everyone, please look at the screen right now. This is actually exactly what you would see on the virtual exhibition hall. So for anyone that's interested in exploring a little bit, you can click on the menu that is on the top left and then exhibition hall. So do that anytime, and we will actually have break sets later on. So you can feel free to explore a little bit. And before we start our fruitful day, may I please invite Relina C. She's the CEO of Jumpstart to give us her opening remarks. Relina, please.
Thank you, Melody.
Thank you, Relina. Wow, such inspiring opening. And everyone, get ready to be part of our community as well. And I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. Can I get a virtual and on-site round of applause just for everybody? Thank you. And as Relina just mentioned, it definitely would not be possible without the Invest HK team. And now can I please invite the representative of Invest Hong Kong, Doris Fong. She's the head of creative industries, and she will say a few words for us. Doris, please.
Thank you, Melody. Good afternoon to audiences that are in Hong Kong or APAC, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Doris.
Thank you.
Definitely, we have a very full agenda today, and definitely all of the items are something that's worth looking up for. So definitely, everyone, keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled for everything that we have to for offer. And next up, we actually have another speaker that's with us. We're very honored to have a very important guest. That is Dr. Bernard Chan, the Undersecretary for Commerce and Economic Development, Hong Kong Special Administrative Region Government, to join us today. Let's welcome him with our virtual and on-site round of applause, everyone, and welcome him to say a few words. And everyone, let's take a look at the video that we have prepared.
Hello. We look forward to seeing you very soon in Hong Kong. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chan. His insights on the Hong Kong startup ecosystem are definitely very valuable, sharing for all of us. And I'm sure everyone here should be in for a treat, just like I am. And to get this conference started, we have invited Christine Neatum, who is joining us virtually. Now, a little bit about Christine. She's an inspirational speaker who's on the list of Forbes 30 Under 30, an award-winning Haitian American Ghanaian Dartmouth graduate, to join us today virtually. And I know that it is actually it's 2 o'clock for Hong Kong right now. So that means it's 2 a.m. for her. Thank you so much. Wow, I really appreciate her being here. And as the Chief Marketing Officer of Global Startup Ecosystem, she actually built a global startup ecosystem with her award-winning digital accelerator platform. And that is where more than 1,000 companies across 90 countries a year graduated from global startup ecosystem. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me that she is definitely the best person to get this event started. And Christine is going to give us a short speech. So everyone, please buckle up. Get ready as we are connecting her in. And note that, as I was told earlier, she is definitely connecting from New York. I know, like right now, we don't really feel it, but being 12 hours apart, I'm just really glad she can actually join us real time. And so everyone, make sure that you keep your eyes open, keep your ears peeled, because for some of our live events, I'm not sure if it's pre-recorded, but everyone that's in here, make sure that if you do need to take notes, this is a good time to take notes. But before I begin, I would actually like to make sure that everyone is checking into our virtual booths. As I mentioned earlier when I showed the slide about how to visit the virtual booth. So make sure that you are checking in as we do have different sessions. I just want to say it one more time because I know somebody actually came in just a little bit later. So if you look at the screen right now, you actually see that there's a red circle. This is the virtual hall that you're actually seeing. So make sure you do click menu and then go to exhibition hall, because for those of you who actually signed in, I actually asked the organizer, is there a link that people can use to come in? No, it's actually right on the virtual booth. So this will show you exactly what to expect when you are coming in, so that during our breaks, or even sometimes for virtual events, people have a tendency to come in and out of our events or even our sessions, which is fine. So just make sure you do go out and then check it out whenever you have the time and have the chance. And next up, I think there's actually another email that I wanted to share with everybody in case you needed to get in touch with us, which I'll see if we can actually have that on the screen. Actually, no, we'll stay with the virtual exhibition hall for one more moment, as I had a request that we had to stay here for a little bit longer. And as we are making some connections, a lot of times with technology, we have to make sure that things are all in place before we get started. So I think there's a little bit going on with the connection over on Christine's side. So just to make sure everything is to perfection before we start. And oh yes, just so that you know, this is the email that I was talking about. So everyone, if you don't have pen and paper, make sure that you do screen capture it. And if you need to write us an email, that is at info@jumpstartmeg.com. And you can ignore the bottom part. This is actually a little preview with whatever is happening later. Okay, so because of technical difficulties, what happens is that we're going to just kind of shift things a little bit just to get things moving here. Can I actually just take a look at our next session? And for those of you who's actually at home, when you're joining us on Zoom, make sure that you can actually customize it yourself. I actually have some inquiries that are coming in because you can actually customize pretty much what you see on the screen. So if your screen does not look right to you, make sure you do customize it to the way that you want it. All right, and moving on to the next session, all the way from Silicon Valley, we have Andrew Tang, that is the Managing Director of Draper Dragon, fund and partner at Draper Associates. And today, Andrew, he will actually share his insights in terms of the initiatives that is here in Asia. And for those of you who don't know, I can actually provide a little bit of a background information. Now, Draper Associates, that's founded in 1985. I'm sure a lot of us weren't born yet, is a seed stage venture capital firm that encourages entrepreneurs to drive their business to greatness. That is to transform industries with new technologies and also to build platforms for extraordinary growth, for jobs, and for wealth creation as well. Draper is an early investor in Tesla, in Baidu, in Skype, and its profile also includes companies that a lot of us are quite familiar with. That is a Twitch and cruise automation, among others. But of course, due to the COVID-19, Andrew and Maureen can't join us live today. But that said, I did get to interview them earlier this morning. So everyone, please do watch the recording that is from earlier today. Please take a look. Not only is he the managing director of Draper Dragon Fund and partner of Draper Associates, now Andrew is also the CEO of Draper U. And alongside Andrew, we also have the dynamic Miss Miriam Diang. She's the head of partnerships and international relations at Draper U. And today she will talk about the benefits and the reason why early stage startups in Asia should explore Draper U's network as well as the offerings. But before we do that now, let me just jump with some of the questions I have for Andrew. So Andrew, so for the question that I have, I know that you have over, a decade of experience in terms of being a researcher, an investor, investment banker, and a leader in a high technology space. Now, what are some of the moments that you've came across in your experience, of course, that you really felt that it had an impact on you? Can you share that with us, please?
For them, their team, and also their family.
Right, and it's that tenacity as well, as you just mentioned. Now, I also know that, with a little bit of, I've done some homework on you, and Draper Dragon has actually invested in some of the very established industries, such as hardware, and there's healthcare, and also in the emerging tech startups, such as those with blockchain and sustainability solutions. The investments strategy seems to be in with the new, but is not exactly out with the old. What's a common factor in terms of a quality or experience that's shared by founders that you've backed before?
Yeah, I think the two most important things we look for are large market
that you actually want to go forward with.
Now, I also know that you're the head of international partnerships and relations. Can you tell us, what impact do you think international collaborations have in terms of creating a responsible and relevant education framework? And does this change how entrepreneurs estimate the scope of their startup's impact? So it's kind of two parts.
Well, it's absolutely critical. So set in a frame that allows them to do so.
Before we wrap up, I just want to say congratulations, virtual round of applause. I know Jumpstart has actually announced today that Draper U and Jumpstart have engaged in the MOU to be a partner, supporter, and an evangelist for Draper U in Hong Kong. So I just want to say congratulations and thank you. And virtual round of applause, everyone at home. Thank you once again for being with us today. Thank you so much, Andrew and Mareem. I'm sure a lot of you were just listening at the same time as me. There's a lot to learn from their conversation. And I think Andrew actually has a good point because of the internet and the ease of things. A lot of us are getting a lot closer than we thought we are, which is a good thing. And then for Mareem, yes, they do have an ecosystem where it's a safe environment for us to quote unquote fail early. So I think that's definitely something to look forward to. Now, moving on, today, Jumpstart, as I mentioned, is very happy to announce that, as I mentioned this morning, I'll say it one more time, is that Draper U and Jumpstart have engaged in an MOU to be a partner, supporter, and evangelist for Draper U that is here in Hong Kong. So everyone, please take a look at the slide. And I'm sure the ones who just came in probably didn't see it earlier. So please do screen capture this. This is the email for local inquiries about Draper U. So of course you can contact Jumpstart at info@jumpstartmeg.com with the subject line Draper U, or contact Draper U directly and let them know that you are part of the Jumpstart network. Jumpstart would be more than happy to tell you more about this wonderful program. And finally, moving on, back to Christine, as I was mentioning before, and as I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I love to tweak things to perfection before I start. So with her connection, we make sure that it's good before I have her on. And as I mentioned, everyone, please keep your eyes and ears peeled. We're in for a treat. Christine Neatum, I'll just kind of repeat her profile a little bit for those of you who just came in. She will be joining us virtually. Hi, Christine. How are you? Thank you so much.
Good, thank you.
I must say, you look really good for 2:45 a.m. Oh my gosh. You look super good. So she will be with us today, and she's also the Chief Marketing Officer of a global startup ecosystem. She built a global startup ecosystem with her award-winning digital accelerator platform, where there's more than 1,000 companies across 90 countries a year graduated from global startup ecosystem. I'm sure definitely we all agree that you are the best person to go to get this event started. So please do share whatever you have. We're all listening.
Thank you so much. And hello and welcome, everyone. I hope all of you are pumped up. I can't believe this is the 2020 edition. Congratulations again on being a part of this festival and this experience. All the best, everyone. My name is Christine and Tim, and it was a pleasure to connect with every single one of you today.
Wow, thank you so much, Christine. Well, that was really high in energy. I'm very moved, and thank you. It's almost like I heard you a few months ago. I actually made an online course myself too about how to do better online conferences. But thank you, very inspiring. Just confirms what I did was right. Yes, the best time is right now. And thank you once again for joining us. I know it's getting really late, so I won't hold you up any longer. Thank you one more time. Thank you, Christine. And moving on, we are going for our next discussion panel that is on AI and robotics. And I'm sure a lot of you know that this is actually a very hot topic that is in the recent years, right? And as we know, AI is getting more common in our daily lives. And how can we actually explore like robotics in this, so to say, new way? And what is the future? How can we actually integrate AI with robotics? Well, that's a lot of questions. So now I would leave these questions to the guest that is next to me. Everyone, please welcome Jean Lim. She's the board director of Kami Intelligence Enhancing Robotics. So everyone, let's please give her a big round of applause. Thank you for joining us in person. And don't forget, there's also our friends that's joining us virtually from the United States. We have Spencer Tang, the CEO and co-founder of DuerBot, and joining us virtually, this time from Taiwan, Kevin Wong, the CEO of Ori. Hi, you guys. How's it going?
Hello.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is very exciting. So, and I'm very glad that I'm actually moderating this session because this is one of my favorite topics as well. And so let's start with something just to kind of warm up everyone, both in person and virtually. So this is not directed for anyone, it's just for all of you. So I know that robots are actually getting a lot smarter. Even like my robot vacuum cleaner is getting smarter. And human robot collaboration is also picking up. Now, what do you boys and girls think that about this mix of human and artificial intelligence? Like, what will it look like as the technology evolves?
Well, I think the million-dollar question or billion-dollar question, that is a very exciting and a little bit scary development.
And how about you guys, Kevin and Spencer? What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a huge fan of Neuralink. I think that
operations without too much human interruption into it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Actually, there's one question that's kind of related that I want to ask Jean. I know that machines learn from humans, and you have spoken about your philosophy that human intelligence actually needs to be enlightened. I think that was a word. In order for AI to have a more positive and a more responsible framework to adopt. Now, what inspired this belief? Like, where did it actually come from? And how would this enlightenment happen?
I wish I know the answer now. So I worked for 4 years, a very inspiring journey for me to watch how machines actually help us regain our humanity.
Wow, that is actually very interesting. And the psychology of it too, like, we're actually more likely to ask her than somebody, which in turn kind of inspire us or kind of pushes us to even better ourselves. Because
Like you're being a parent of a kid, right?
exactly. Wow, this is really deep, everyone. Okay, and Kevin, now, and also what, in your opinion, is holding back greater innovation and development in the robotics and AI space? What do you think?
Yeah, I think,
Sorry, did you say unhuman thing?
yes.
In a positive way, of course. Wow, that is the first time I heard the word unhuman in a positive light. Thank you. And Spencer, now the next question is actually to you. Now, I know you pivoted very quickly from handling contract logistics, that's in the US and China, with the United Parcel Service, right? And to co-found Durabot. Can you actually tell us a bit more about the thought process behind this changeover?
The other robotic companies.
Okay, and speaking of pivots and changes, now I want to actually, to kind of extend that a little bit, I want to go back to Kevin. Is Origami Labs working on any new features for Ori? Because I remember seeing you, I don't know if you remember seeing me, that was at actually Cyberport when you guys were doing the demo for the phone ring.
I think we have been
What more information do you guys need? You guys already have a lot. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Now, Jean, as a board member and former CEO of Hanson Robotics, and as well as the co-character lead for Sophia the robot, what are some of the highlights that is working with Hanson and with Sophia? Because that's not an experience that normal people would usually have.
No.
Like what, regular people, so to say.
Right. I guess, so very, very interesting journey for myself. So about how to bring up an AI baby.
Wow, that is like the utmost blank slate. Like they're born smart, but at the same time they have nothing. Like, wow, I wouldn't even know what that is. If you were to compare that to a human, or even what, like, have you ever seen anybody that's like
I guess
like that?
Babies, but they're not like 25 years old, and people think that they know a lot more than what they do. A lot of people come up to Sophia and say, "Can I have the Mark 6 lottery numbers?"
No.
And then she'll say, "Do you think I'm an oracle or something? I'm just a baby."
Well, just tell her if an octopus can give us, football results, maybe Sophia can. And going back to Spencer, I want to ask, apart from logistics automation, what other industries do you actually see robotics creating waves in, say, in the short term?
When we are working with our customer closely to develop.
So basically you have to make it's not just a product itself, but to actually match the right reason to use that product at the same time. And we should actually, just before I forget, I want to go back to Kevin. I know you said in the previous interview, just a bit back, that the smartphone era was coming to an end. I remember that very clearly. I forgot if that was verbatim. But what does the future and its technology look like to you then, if that was true?
Yes, I think sort of echoing a little bit about what Spencer was.
Okay, well, that's actually very interesting. Like when you said that, the image that came to mind was actually picking blueberries. Because I don't know which era everybody was born in, but when I was a kid, I remember that was one of the most mundane jobs you can ever do in the summer is to go to a farm and pick blueberries. But of course, we don't need AI to do. We can get somebody else to do it. For example, like my little brother. But you do have a good point there. It's not that we don't want to work. We want to do more high level stuff because we need to be stimulated here one way or another. Now, going back to Jean, I know you stepped down from the CEO role at Hanson and founded your own not-for-profit, the NAMA Institute. That was what, last year, 2019, correct? Well, what prompted your transition from Hanson to NAMA, and what was the journey like? Like, what was it?
To promote the words of wisdom.
Right. And after all, I think at the end of the day, we're all working with people, with humans. So no matter what tool it is that we use, we still have to bear that in mind. Like,
That's
what
right.
are our needs, right? So looking at time, I think I'll probably go into the last question. That is for Spencer, actually. What do modern robotic startups need to have or do to succeed today? And what is your secret? I know it's like a really big question, but what's your secret in getting Durabot this far so that people whose insights inspired by you so they know what to expect and what it's like for you? Like, what was that secret ingredient?
Really applicable to different kind of industries. That's my advice. Yeah.
Wow, I hope everyone heard that. And I hope we have it on pre-record so people can actually listen to it again and again. Not very often do we actually ask people for their secret sauce every time and that they actually give it to us. I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Spencer. Big round of applause to them one more time. Thank you so much for being with us today. That was definitely a very fruitful talk and just lots that I've learned from them. And so we can see actually the future of AI and robotics, that definitely a lot of potential and a lot of untapped potential as well. For our next discussion will actually be a fireside talk that is focused on cryptocurrency. And that is a very hot topic that has the potential to change the face of finance around the world. And I have our moderator, which is right next to me. That is Upton Saidi, and he is a multimedia journalist of CNBC International, and he is here to conduct the fireside chat with a very important guest for us to give us some insight about Binance. Now, Upton's stories can actually be seen across CNBC's main TV channel. You're everywhere, CNBC.com, YouTube, Facebook, covering things like technology, what travel, startups, sharing economy, and the future of work, and more. What else do you not cover? This is a lot of stuff. Wow. And he's also the creator of the multi-platform series Office Envy, which profiles future trends and innovative workplaces around the world. Everyone, let's put our hands together for Upton.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask, what topics do you not cover?
We know a little bit about a lot, and that's our thing.
Well, definitely glad to have you with us today. Thank you. And joining us virtually today, we have Changpeng Zhao. He is better known as ZZ, the famed founder of Binance. We finally see the face. I mean, I use your product, but then I never know. It's like, who's the guy? Now I know. One of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges by volume and one of the most respected names in the crypto space. We are proud to have ZZ join us today to discuss Binance meteoric rise, the future for Binance, and whether crypto regulations hurt or does it help Binance, and more. So I'll leave the time for you two gentlemen.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. CZ, welcome.
Yep.
Thank you for
having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Let's just jump right in and get to it. Really appreciate hearing some insight and talking with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Thank you, Upton. Thank you, CZ. Wow, very, very insightful session. Actually, I don't know if you guys realize, but you know, burgers, billionaires, and Binance actually all start with B. I don't know if there's a correlation there, but definitely do learn from the conversation that they just had. A lot of ingredients that they put in for success, pretty much. I think a lot of the youngsters out there can actually look up to that. Now, moving on, today we know that innovation isn't something that's just, say, limited to startups only. In fact, all corporates nowadays need to explore innovation in order to cope with the challenging market environment. In the upcoming session, we will actually get an idea about how innovation can help established companies grow. So looking right next to me, let's take a look at our guest for today. Our moderator in this session is Lee Williamson. He's a Hong Kong-based journalist with a decade of experience in the Greater China region, and he's formerly the editor's chair at the Time Out Beijing. That's what I can remember, yes. And he now heads up the editorial for Generation T, Tetla Asia's content and events platform for the leaders of tomorrow. Yes, and he actually invited me before to be in one of his articles. That's why I remember him. Good to see you, by the way.
See you again.
I know. And he was actually selected as a Wen Afra, a Young Media Leaders Fellow 2020. And today we are very glad to have also the guest that's next to him. We have Ben Wong, Assistant General Manager of Eureka Nova, a division of New World Group and one of the leaders in innovation in private companies. And also next to him, we have Lucas Patricas, that is a head of innovation lab at the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. They will give us some insights in terms of how those two companies are actually pushing innovation that's here in Hong Kong. So I'll hand that over to you, Lee, and welcome Ben and Lucas, please.
Thank you so much, Melody. Good afternoon and welcome to this panel on corporate innovation here at the... And I think that's our time. Lucas Petricus, Ben Wong, thank you very much.
And thank you so much. Thanks, Lee, for being our moderator. And thank you one more time, Ben. Thank you, Lucas. Big round of applause again. Thank you. I'm sure one takeaway we can definitely take from this last session is keep asking why. And I know that at the end, they actually mentioned about the COVID, which actually kind of leads to the next session that I was talking about. Like, as we all know, during these strange times, travel is one of the industries that are the most affected by COVID-19. And the manner and the frequency in which people have been traveling over, say, the last half year, the last 6 months has actually changed. And the future of traveling looks very different than how it did before. And this panel is especially important for us to understand how innovation can actually help travel-focused companies ride through the changes that's coming ahead. And today, we're very grateful to have Hannes Jun. She is the moderator right next to me. Thank you, Hannes, to moderate our Word Travel Tech panel. And just a little bit about her. She has 20 years of startup and finance experience in the high-tech, online media, e-commerce, and travel industries. She's currently the co-founder of Mojo Domo Group and the founder of 2020 Limited. And I would like to thank you for organizing this panel. And also, let's welcome our speakers. Next to her, we have Catherine So, Managing Director of the Northern Asia Region Expedia Group Brands, and Bart Beering, the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer at Marriott International Asia Pacific. Hannes, I'll leave the time to you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for introducing our guests. Okay, so we better talk about, our travel with our distinguished guests with over 2 decades of experience.
Lifestyle Tech Conference.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Kenneth. And thanks, Im, for being with us. And also, Ahmed, very good to catch some of you. We thought we were going to have lost him, but then he made it in time, which is great. Thank you so much, all of you, for that sharing. It definitely actually ends on a high note. Did a very good job, all of you. And once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us virtually today. I just want to give everybody a big round of applause again. Everyone in the studio, everyone that is at home, everybody that's been making this happen. And I just want to say thank you. Without your participation, definitely will not be possible for all of you that's at home. And on behalf of Jumpstart and the Lifestyle Tech Conference, we hope you enjoyed our conference today and learned something new. Remember, together we can definitely make innovation matter. Please feel free and subscribe to the Jumpstart magazine by scanning the QR code that is displayed on the screen right now. Other than that, thank you very much, everybody. Please do enjoy your evening. We'll see you soon. Thank you.